So I will show you how to create this in Power BI. This dashboard is interactive. And if you select G2, Group 2, see how the countries only showing Group 2 countries. Yeah, and then can also view that by year, for example. So this is showing 2014 only or 2013 only, etc. So this, we've got slices on top, we have charts, and we've got table. That's what I want to show you how to create something like this. Hi everyone, my name is Isabella Susilowati. I'm an Excel and Power BI enthusiast with decades of business experience in the field of reporting, planning, and analysis. Teaching is a passion that I pursue in my spare time, and I publish a weekly YouTube video tutorial every Thursday about how you can use Excel and Power BI to make your life easier at work. This video will cover 3 things. Firstly, the reason why some people may be reluctant in embracing Power BI. Secondly, how to download the Power BI desktop software for free. And thirdly, a quick and easy way to create a simple report in Power BI desktop. Let's get started with part 1. Why some people are reluctant in embracing Power BI. For many people, the shift from Excel to Power BI is a big change. It's like shifting from using an old-style washing machine to a new high-tech washing machine that have so many new functions: quick wash, quick dry, wash and dry, air dry, extra rinse, extra spin, timer to get started rinsing, soaking and drying, etc. The new washing machine can be so scary to some people because there are just too many functions to learn. And likewise, Power BI can be scary for some people because there are so many new features, new options, new functions. Some people may say, oh my God, do I have to learn everything? This is so complicated, too hard. I don't have time for this. I'm fine with Excel. This is the reason why I'm creating this video today. I believe that you don't need to master all the optional washing machine extras before you can start using a new washing machine. All you need to know is really just the basics. How to open the door, get the laundry in, know where to put the soap in, and where is the quick start button. I also believe that you don't need to learn and master all the Power BI functionalities before you can start creating your first dashboard. All you need to know is just the basics. How to get the data in, how to check it, how to create the charts, tables, and slicers. Once you're comfortable with the basics, then you can build on it and learn additional features of Power BI along the way. The most important thing is to take the first step. Try on the new washing machine, the new Power BI software. Let me first ask you a question. Have you had a chance to download the new Power BI software? Newsflash, Power BI Desktop is free. Yes, Microsoft has made it available for free for everyone to download. So if you haven't done so, just go to powerbi.com and download the software. Now that we get the software download out of the way, I'd like to dedicate the rest of this video to explain how to get started on using your Power BI software. I will show you, firstly, how to get the data into Power BI so that we can then use it to create dynamic reports. Secondly, how to check the data. And thirdly, how to create charts and tables in Power BI. Fourthly, how to format your charts and tables in Power BI, such as changing title, changing axes and colors and the fonts. And lastly, how to save your Power BI reports. All right, let's get started. Let's open a blank file, and you will be presented with this option. Add data to your reports from either Excel, SQL Server, copy and paste, or sample data set. Feel free to play around with these data sources. For today, let's just get it from Excel. So click it and select your file, and I'll just pick this and hit open. And I'll bring in 2 sets of data. The first one is from table 1, which has 2 columns, country and groups. And I also want to bring in the second table, which has a little bit more fact information. This is my fact table. So it has segment, countries, and some sales and units information by month and by year. So the tables that you want, you tick them. If you want just 2 tables, just tick the 2. If you want more, you can tick more later on. Yeah, and then hit load. That's how you bring in data into Power BI. And once the data is in there, you can see the table names on the right over here. And you can click it to see what's in it. Now, when you're clicking it like this, you can't really see anything, yeah, because now we are in the so-called reports tab. Yeah, this is where we are. So when you go to the left, and you'll see there are 3 options: report, data, and model. Yep. So let me show you one by one what each one means. So this report is where we will build charts later on. Yep. But before we build our charts, it's a good habit to check the data that we brought in. And the best way to check that is by going into the data tab. So earlier we brought in 2 sets of tables information, and that's our table 1. When you click it, you can preview it, and table 2, when you click it, you can preview it in here. Yeah. So in the data tab, we can rename our table if we want to. For example, currently it's called table 1. I'm going to rename this as country grouping. And then for table 2, I'm going to rename it as sales fact table. Or just call it sales. This is my sales table, and that's my country grouping. Yep. Right. So I've got my 2 table all check, and then the third tab is the model. Yeah, this is where you get to see and sense check the relationship between two or more tables. So in this instance, we have the country grouping that we have just renamed and the sales table, and we have a simple relationship defined by this line in here, which you can click and double click. And when you double click it, it will tell you that it's basically a relationship. This is how the table interacts with each other, and the connections between this table is linked by country. Yeah. So see how the country is highlighted. So the country in the sales table is the same as the country in the country grouping, and this relationship is one-to-many relationship or many-to-one. There are many countries in the sales table, and there is only one country in here. That's why it's called many-to-one relationship. Yeah. The good thing is Power BI automatically creates a relationship. So all you need to do is check it. If it's wrong, then fix it by telling Power BI, which fields are the same in the 2 tables. I like to arrange my tables so that my dimension is on top and the arrow is pointing downwards, and my fact table, I like to see them at the bottom, so that if I build on my model in the future by having more dimension tables on top, it becomes clear which one is the fact table and which one is the dimensions table. But for now, it's only 2, so it really doesn't matter where you want to put them. Yeah. So now that we have covered the 2 tabs, which is the data and the modeling, I will move on to the 3rd tabs, which is where we are going to build our charts. All right, let's get started making our charts. Yeah. So let me just quickly show you what we are trying to make. We want to make this. Yeah, we want to make a sales dashboard together. So we'll build some bar charts. We'll build some line charts as well as tables at the bottom and several slicers on top. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's start by building the our first chart, which is a bar chart. So your first step would be to select what type of charts that you want. So you can see there is a visualization panel in here. If you don't see that, don't panic, because sometimes it's hidden like this. Yeah, you can click this arrow and it will open up. Yeah, and if you click it again, it will disappear. Yeah. So the first step would be to select what type of charts do you want, and I just want a bar chart, so I'll just click that one. Yeah. Okay, and then after that, the next step is to define what to put into the bar chart. Yeah. And you do that by clicking and dragging the information that you want into this information panel over here. Yeah. So what I want is sales by country. So what I need to do is I need to search for sales. Yeah. So that's our sales table. And if you click that, that's the various field in the sales table, and we have the country grouping. So what I want is sales, which is that, the sales field in the sales table. So I can click that into here. So I've got my sales, but I also want in the axis the country. So I can search one by one or type country. Yep. And there you go, you found the country and put it there. And boom, we've got our first bar chart. Now we have sales by country. Yeah. Now, you can make it bigger if you want by dragging, or make it smaller, but it's not so beautiful. So let's just leave it like this. Now, I don't like seeing the word country over here because it's understood. There is already a title, sales by country, so I want to make that disappear. And how you do that is by formatting this chart. You can go to this format button, and this is where you get to format your y-axis or x-axis. Now, this is the y-axis, so click the y-axis and when you turn it off, then the country name disappeared, and I don't want that, so I'm putting it back on. But what I want is to make the labels or the title disappear. So I'm going to turn the title off, and that disappeared. Yeah. Same with the x-axis. I don't want to see sales in there. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my x-axis and turn off the title, and that sales now disappear. And say, for example, I want to see the value in here. Yeah, if I hover around, I can see it, but I want it written in here. How do I do that? So we go back to the format and then look for data labels. Yeah. So at the moment, data labels, hold on, let me just hide that so that I can see more. Data labels is turned off. Yeah. So I'm going to turn it on. Now by turning it on, now I can see that, I've got 25 million sales coming from United States, 24.9 from Canada, etc. Now that I have the data labels, I don't need this anymore. I don't need the x-axis. So I'm going to hide them by turning off the x-axis. And that's our first chart done. Yeah. Now I have sales by country. Yeah. Now, in Power BI, shortcuts that works in Excel also works in Power BI. So you can do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to make a new chart. So if I want another one, I can do Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V, and boom, I have a second chart. So now what I want is, instead of sales by country, I want sales by segment. So I'm going to replace the country in here with segment. So where is segment? I'm just going to type that in the search button there. Search box. And once I found the segment, I'm just going to drag them here and get rid of country. Yeah. Now I have sales by segment. That quick and easy. Yeah. And then I want one more. I'm going to copy again, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Yeah. And this time around, I want sales by product. So, search for product in the field search button, drag it to the axis, get rid of segment, and boom, I have sales by product. So now we have quickly created 3 charts. 1 and 2 and 3. Yeah. Yeah. And okay, I'm just going to squash it up a little bit so that it fits nicely. See how versatile is Power BI? It just resizes everything, the fonts and stuff. It's just automatic. And this is why you will like using Power BI to create charts, because it's just so user-friendly. Yeah. And say, that color is a bit boring. They are all blue. So let's change the color. You may want to do that. So we can do that. So what we do is we go into the format and see that data color option. So we can choose a different color for that chart. Let's say orange. Yeah. And this one, let's make it purple. Maybe that's too purple, too black. Look at that one. Okay. Now we've got 3 charts with nice colors. And now let's create our line charts over here. So to create a brand new chart, just click whatever you want. And I want line chart, so I click that. I'm going to put it in here, so I'm going to drag that to a different place. And I want to have month over here, and I want to have sales line. Yeah. So for axis, I'm going to put month. So I'll just find the month first, month number, put them into axis, and then I want to visualize my sales. I'm going to drag sales into value, and I want 2 lines by so that I can see 2014 and 13. So to do that, I need to get the year and put it in the legend. Yeah. So now I can see sales by month and year. But where's my other months? I've got month number 5 and 10, but where is my month 1, 2, 3, 4? So if you want to show all the months, then you need to go into the format. Yeah? Go to the x-axis and change the type from continuous into categorical. Yeah? And then now you can see all the numbers. But oops, why are they not sorted correctly? Because there is a sort button in here, and currently it's set to sort descending by sales value. So you need to change that by month, and instead of descending, make it ascending. Yeah, so it's now January until December, sales by month. Yeah. Now, I don't want to I don't want to see sales in here because that's just repetition. So remember I showed you earlier, all you need to do is make the title disappear, the axis title. Well, that's for the month there. And then for the y-axis, I also don't want to see, oops, that's a bit, for the y-axis, I don't want to see the title as well. So that's sufficient, yeah. Now I have sales by month and year, and now I can do Control C and Control V so that I can recycle the same thing and replace the sales with units. Yeah, unit sold. I'm going to drag that to values, and voila, I have unit sold by month and year. All done. Yeah. So I've got my bar charts, I have my line charts, and the last one that I'm going to create is a table over here. So for tables, click, I want to have a matrix table, yeah, so that I can put the year and the month on top, and then the sales and unit. So I'll start with the sales and units. So I've got units sold already, so I'm going to drag that to the values, and then I'm going to have the sales, put that there, yeah. I've got sales and unit, but they are currently displayed as column, and I want to flip them so that they're displayed as rows. So to do that, go to format again and go to values and click show on rows. Yep, boom, it's flipped. And then next is put the year and month in the column header. So that's year and month. And open it up. Oops. Bring it there. Now we've got sales by year and month. Isn't that beautiful? But I don't like the formatting. This is too much information. I can see the sense and they're not relevant. How do we make that disappear? Yeah. So if you want to format the sales, let's find the field. That's the field. Click it. And then go to format in here. And what I want is the decimal place. See how it says change the number of decimal places. At the moment it's auto and I want to change it to 0. Click 0 and boom, they disappear. But where is my comma? I need the comma, so click comma. And now I have nice comma separator for sales. And for units, let's fix it up as well. Type units in the search bar there. Click units. I want the comma and I want 0 decimal place. Oops, 0. Yeah. And now it's done. So now we have our tables, our charts, and okay, and I just want to put a bit of background color so that they look prettier. Now you can highlight all 3 charts so that you can change everything together. So what I'm going to put on is the background color. I'm going to add a gray color with a bit of transparency, 50%. And because I selected all 3, it is all happening together, all the formatting. Yeah. So it's quite efficient. You can do all 3 charts together as long as they're the same type. So which means that if I want to, I can format that line charts and that line charts together. So let's go back to background and change the color to gray and make that 50%. And beautiful. Oops, sorry. Okay, that's beautiful. Now, I try to have the spacing similar size. It's just nicer that way, rather than, you know, some spacing to be narrow and some a bit fat. Try to make it the same if you can, because it's just going to look so much nicer. Yeah. So now that chart is now done. So the last bit is to create slices on top. Yeah. So for slicer, there is a button that you can click. So I want to slice it by group, the country grouping. Yeah. So click it there and bring it there. Yeah. And I can change that to make it into a drop-down list so that it's just neater. Yeah, this is personal preference and I kind of like it like this. So you can see, oops, group selection. Now if I select group 1, for example, everything interacts. Only group 1 countries are shown and the sales associated with that group 1 countries. Same with group G2, only G2 countries are being shown. Yeah. So that's my first slicer. And let's say I want another slicer, I can just Control-C, Control-V, and I want to put the year. So I'm just going to put it there and get it off group. Yeah. And I want one more, Control-C, Control-V again, and I want month. So I'm putting the month there, get rid of that, and putting it there. Well, that's a little bit lengthy. Month number, I don't like that. I want to shorten it, and you can rename that by double clicking. I'm just going to shorten the name to month. Yeah. So that's good. Now I've got that, and I will, that looks a little bit bare. So I'm going to add a line in there just to make it prettier. So I'm going to insert shapes, and there is a line option in there. Oops, that's my line a bit. Okay, let's just put that in there. I'm just going to put a line in there. So I've got a line there, and I'm going to put some, maybe make it come down a bit, and I'm going to put a dashboard name in here. So I'm going to insert text box, and I'm going to call it sales dashboard. And it should go up to the corner. Just click and drag. Now that looks a little bit tiny. So what you can do is you can increase the font, highlight and increase it, make it 20. Okay, I think that's big enough, maybe 24. Yeah. And we are done. Yeah. So we now have our sales dashboard that we have just created, and it's beautiful and it's interactive. So now, we filtered it earlier to G2. Now, if you don't want to filter it, you can use this eraser to clear the selection. And when you clear it, boom, we are back to original. Okay. Do you notice that our charts interact? So when we select United States, then you get to see products associated with United States only. And if you click it again, then it resets, and then you can click other stuff, and it interacts basically. You can even do 2 selections. So you can do control, government, and United States, and it shows the products associated with government and United States. Yeah. And if you want to clear it, just click it one more time, back to original. Yeah. But sometimes you don't want interactions. For example, when you click October, or number 10 in here, notice how that become a dot. And if I don't want that to become a dot, and I want it to always present the full trend charts, we can set the interaction to be not interacting by going into format, edit interactions, and just turn it off. Click none. So when you click none, but I think that's the wrong one. I think that's the interaction of the line, so that's really wrong. What you want is this interaction. I'm just going to make it tinier first so that I can see. So one more time. So I'm in here, and I want to edit the interaction. Click edit interaction, and then turn it off by clicking that. So sometimes when things didn't work, that's because it overlaps with other stuff. So now when I click September, that chart stays. Yeah. Whereas previously it became a dot, 2 dots, and I didn't like that. Yeah. So you do that by setting interaction to none. Yeah. Now the other charts, they are still interacting because we did not set interaction to none. Yeah. If we want to, we can click that button and it will set interaction to nothing. Yeah. Then double click it again and it will reset. Now, if we click the sales chart, see how it becomes a dot? Because we haven't set the interaction to be none for this chart. So if we want to, we can click none there. And whatever month that we select in here, our unit sold trend charts will not disappear. So that's the functions of edit interaction, how you can define which charts do you want things to interact and which one you don't want things to interact or to filter. Yeah, I'm going to resize that so that it's back to original charts. Okay, so we're practically done. We have created our beautiful reports, and I want to show you how easy it is to update the information with new sets of data. Notice how we don't have any information from January to August 2013. And let's say such information becomes available and we want to update our Power BI dashboard with additional data. I want to show you how simple is the step required to update the file. So let's start by opening our Excel file. Yeah, so this is the original data. We have 700 lines. And let's say someone give us additional information, which is the information associated with longer historical data, which I'm going to just copy, Control C, and paste into our data table. Yeah. So I'm going to paste it at the bottom in here, and I'm going to hit save. So now my Excel file has a longer data sets available, which is inclusive of 2013 from January until August. Now let's go back to Power BI. And in Power BI, when the data source has been updated, to make it flow into Power BI is really simple. All you need to do is hit refresh. And watch this. With one click of a button, it will refresh and get the information from the Excel file. And before I even stop talking, we have everything updated such that I can now see historical data from January until August. Isn't that awesome? Okay, the very last step, how do we save the file? So to save the file, we go File, Save As, and let's just save it any way you want. And I'm just going to put it in here, example 2, and save. And that's it. So that's how you save a file, just like a normal file. There is a button in here called Publish. If you hit this button, then it will publish it into your Power BI surface. That's a topic for another time. I will cover, the concept of Power BI surface and the concept of publishing, how to share information in next week's video. I sincerely hope that you enjoy this video, learn a new skill, and get inspired to get started to create your own Power BI report in the near future. Stay tuned for my next Power BI video, which will be published every Thursday. See you next time.